Hello y'all, welcome to part 3 of my Republic of Ireland German Monarchy Path playthrough in the Hearts of Iron 4 mod Kaiserredux. In part 2 we improved the economy and watched some Hohenzollern guy become King of Georgia, which may or may not be relevant later in this playthrough. But with that aside, let's now go to this event here. The dial considers the economy. We need to read this. It says, as in previous years, the dial, is that like the Irish Parliament or Cabinet, whatever, the dial are meeting to decide the annual economic focus for the nation. The positions of the main power players in Irish politics has not changed. President Collins advocates for rapid industrialization supported by the NCP. The syndicalists demand more recognition and better treatment for the workers, while the Liberal Democratic Coalition believe that Ireland is best served by industrial research and development. And let's side with the Sinn Féin and Fianna Fáil. They are correct. And well, Fianna Fáil, however you say that, but that will be the choice that increases the popularity of social conservatism, social liberalism, and social democracy within the Irish state. So that is done now. And going back to the focus tree, let's start doing an industry for Ireland, and that will take 49 days. It says there, our civilian industry has an enormous potential for growth. There is a major unemployment problem in our nation, with many families too poor to regularly feed themselves. By revitalizing our industry, we can both create new jobs and improve the economic strength of our nation. And once that focus is completed, we'll begin industrializing in Ireland, which is kind of vague, really, and here's a new division for us, but I guess it's going to be a good thing. That will take a few days. And so we have 8 divisions in our army at this point. They're all guarding ports, especially Dublin, which is our capital. I'm a little worried about whatever the Union of Britain may try to do. I don't know if they'll attempt to attack us at any point, but I'd rather be watching the ports than not watching them at all. And the Kingdom of Finland joined the Reichspakt. Now, let's start researching, say, research interwar artillery. Yeah, do that. Support weapons 1 is finished. Let's go to naval technology and start doing, say, what do we do here? What do we do? No. Naval support. Let's start researching transport ship. Yeah, transport ships, since that will be kind of relevant for us, maybe if we ever launch any naval invasions of Britain. And it says here in this event, German economy improves. The German government has begun to reform their economy to cope with Black Monday. With their economy improving, trade between our two nations has begun to resume, helping return our economy back to normal. That's good, at least. And from that, we got like 25 political power, so that's nice. And industry for Ireland will be done soon. Give it a little bit more time, just a few more days. And we have a fair number of national spirits at this point. Most of them are positive, but we still have a number of things we need to try and address, especially the Ulster issue and the unraveling political scene. And the Second American Civil War starts. Well, it started across the Atlantic. We have another event here, the IFI initiative. The government has ordered that extensive funds be made available for rapid industrialization of our nation. Too many Irish men and women are without jobs. Many British-owned factories were closed down when Ireland gained her independence and have since fallen into disrepair. Ireland's industry lacks any real focus or direction, despite the population being eager and ready to work. It is up to the government to decide just how much of an investment into the civilian industry they wish to make, and let's choose a major amount. Ireland can rise to greatness, and this will cost us 25 political power, which is no big deal. And it says we will have the option to build several industrial projects in Ireland over time. And there's the Civil War in the USA, the Second American Civil War as it's known. And do I have access to any of those events yet? I don't believe... Oh, wait, no, we can interact with the American Civil War. What can we do? Interesting, that's all I can say. And from that, we'll get a higher recruitable population factor if we get Irish American refugees. That's very interesting. Now, let's complete the focus. Start doing the focus, I mean Irish women in the workplace, and it says there, in Irish women in the workplace, Ireland has in the past been a principally conservative nation held in thrall to the Catholic Church. Irish republicanism and nationalist movements have begun to influence opinions, however, and there is a growing demand for women to be emancipated from the home and granted more independence, creating more employable workers and boosting our economy. And this will give us a national spirit called Women in the Industry, which will give us higher production efficiency retention and higher production efficiency growth. Well, that's interesting. There's a war in the Low Country part of Europe. It seems that Flanders is taking on all the Reichspakt alone, which is wild. Why, Flanders? Why? That is certainly not going to end well for them, I think. They're just so outnumbered. They have no support, and they just lost Bruges. That is, Antwerp and Brussels is not going to have a fun time in that conflict, I think. Yeah, it's over just as quickly as it began, I think. And that is, what the world? What was that even for? Whatever, let's modify the officer corps. Let's get a Spirit of the Academy. We'll go with, say, best of the best. No. Panama has joined the Entente. Radio's done. Go with inventive leadership. That'll be done. Spirit of the Army. Go with, say, I don't know, anniversary of the 1916 Easter Rising. Alright, then that gives us some political power. It's like a flavor holiday event. And the rebirth of Kaiserredux. What the world is this? Impressive advances made. It says here, given time and plenty of funding, the ESIC has developed into a modern force and scientific research to the point where Ireland is starting to be seen as a respected nation in terms of its research and development capabilities. No longer shall the Irish people be mocked as peasant farmers and louts back of the net. Okay, so the rebirth of Kaiserredux. Where is that? Crimea? That is, it's in Crimea. Well, that's just frankly interesting to see. And now research slot. Let's go ahead and do, I don't know, start researching, say, research what? Research computing machine, maybe? Yes, that'll be started now. And I need, well, Irish women in the workplace will be done in a few days. So that's nice. That's going to give us some buffs there. How much longer do we have until the election? A few more months. So December 1937. So Michael Collins is going to stay in power until then. At the very least, he may or may not win the election. Possibly. Oh, there we go. That's very convenient. 1937 elections. Turns out it's not in December. The time for the elections in Ireland has come at last. And with that, the people head to the polls to elect Ireland's new government. Unlike every other election in recent memory, Collins is not the overwhelming favorite to win, as Fianna Fáil wages a brutal campaign against Collins, denouncing him as a jaded old war hero, only kept in power by the weight of his name. Collins has shot back, both refuting these claims and steadily working to prove to Ireland that he still has policies to bring to the table. Meanwhile, Sinn Féin continues positioning themselves as a non-violent and non-radical option compared to the Fine Gael, and socialist, receiving a surge in power not seen since the fall of the now-defunct Irish Labour Party. Sounds like a very competitive election overall in the Republic of Ireland here. Another dark horse party that has been steadily gaining power is the National Centre Party, which has been steadily growing since the economic slump began. While most of the major parties in contention seek to preserve Ireland's democratic system as is, the Socialist Irish Worker League has been steadily gaining power with funding and support from the Union of Britain. The IWL promises to tear down Ireland's current system and usher in a syndicalist revolution in the Emerald Isle. And while their chances of winning the elections are very slim, if they manage to pull off a win, it would surely shake the world. It would surely shake the world of Irish politics to its core, possibly even leading to its end. As the vote comes in, who has won? Let's go with, say, the Dáil and Fianna Fáil, or Fianna Fáil, I guess that's how you say it. And with that, the RF is in charge of the country now, and we have a new, some new people in government in Ireland. That has happened, And Collins is ousted from office. That's a world news event. He's gone now out of Ireland. Well, as its leader anyway. And Russia announces her ambitions. What are they going to do? Invade Central Asia? I have no idea. And so let's start doing the event. Fianna Fáil victory. That'll take 14 days. It says here, Fianna Fáil, literally meaning the soldiers of destiny, or the warriors of Fáil, have come out victorious in the recent democratic elections. Known as the Republican Party of Ireland, these conservative Christian Democrats adhere closely to the ideas espoused by, what's this about? Oh my goodness. Following the commencement of the IFI initiative, the Irish Department of Industry and Commerce had decided on perhaps a rather obvious choice to kickstart Ireland's industry, alcohol. Ireland has a long and proud tradition of producing Irish whiskey, which has much of the production is done in small family-run distilleries throughout the countryside. The proposed Sarestadt development will open up, this is for the Sarestadt alcohol factories. It will open up several alcohol factories and produce some much-needed employment for our nation. But the location for the development has not yet been decided, and only that it should be in one of our less industrial developed regions. So let's go with, say, Ulster, and they'll get the alcohol factories, I guess. Now, here's a new division. Put them in Army 1, of course, the only army of Ireland at this time. And once this focus is done, we'll see what happens from there. And Collins steps aside from politics. It says here, after Collins' devastating loss in the 1937 elections, the big fellow has finally decided to step away from the leadership of the party, taking the hint that the populace of Ireland has grown tired of him. Collins has sworn off politics forever and seeks to maintain a quiet life as a mere officer in the Irish army. Replacing him as the leader of Fine Gael is Richard Mulcahy, a long-time member of Fine Gael, and fellow general and freedom fighter in the Irish Republican Army. This marks the end of an era for Ireland, as Fine Gael begins moving away from just being the party of Collins, and instead as a party dedicated to pragmatic liberalism, Irish unity, and defense against English influence. A new face for Fine Gael, and now there will be a new new leader for the market liberal party in Ireland, and that is that. So I guess in the focus tree, let's try and do, what can we do here? New constitution. I don't know. Complete the focus. I need to keep improving my economy. Actually, no. The status of Ulster. I need to go ahead and bypass that. And that'll be done instantly. It says here, De Valera's policy toward Ulster. Now that the 1937 election has concluded, the status of the contentious Ulster region is once again up for debate. The victors of the election were the Fianna Fáil, with Amon de Valera taking over as president. De Valera's policy towards the region is to seek compromise with the Unionists by decentralizing Ireland and allowing regions of Ireland. Ulster included a high degree of autonomy, and hopefully this can avoid bloodshed and conflict in the region in the near future. Increase decentralization then. And once that is done, social conservatism will, that event just increase social conservatism's popularity. And so now let's do the focus, say, I don't know, complete military industry. That will take 42 days. The Romanian Legionary Kingdom joined the Belgrade Pact. That's happening. The Fourth Balkan War should take place soon, I think. And it says here in this event, whilst the people of Ireland would prefer, we have the Spanish Civil War going on. I'm trying to read, dagnabbit. Oh my goodness. Whilst the people of Ireland would prefer peace to war, there is no... Oh my... No, goodness gracious. There is no doubt that war may very well be on the horizon, with an enemy across the Irish Sea, and more still waiting in the wings. Ireland must build her military industry if she hopes to survive in the coming storm. And once this is done, we'll get 2 military factories and 30 political power. Sounds nice. Now, what do we do here? I don't know, research this. Good, improved infantry equipment 1. Also, I don't know, get motorized, since we don't even have that right now. Start researching that. That can add to our transport ships for military technology we're trying to research. That could be useful for our army at any point, or navy. And things seem to be going well for Amon de Valara, or whatever. And the pints are calling. What is this about? The construction of the Saris alcohol factories has finished, and now the nation can enjoy the benefits. The factories have not come without their expenses, but there's no doubt they'll be good for the public morale as well as the economy in the long term. And let's choose to go forward with this, and we lose 40 political power from this choice in the event, but we'll get 3 civilian factories in Ulster, which is quite nice. And I think, with that said, I'm going to end what is part 3 of my Republic of Ireland German Monarchy path playthrough here in the Hearts of Iron 4 mod, Kaiserredux. If you enjoyed the mod, you can check it out in the video description. The link to it is there. If you enjoyed the video itself, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.